Hello and welcome back to the podcast. Today's episode is going to be all about money mindset, money affirmations, things that money mindset coaches say, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to help you with the subconscious," and then they don't. Because those people exist. And I see these people on TikTok all the time. So I want to talk to you today about a couple of things. First things first, I want to establish what you are doing, what you're accomplishing when you just work on positive affirmations, okay? So oftentimes there are going to be coaches in the online space, they're going to be business coaches, they're going to claim that they're money coaches, and they will preach about money and money mindset and money manifestation from a place of doing the conscious work. Their easy go-to content is positive affirmations around money. Things like, I'm a money magnet, or I attract money easily and effortlessly. And the thing about positive affirmations is it doesn't matter how many positive affirmations you do or you say about money, because conscious work is only just scratching the surface of what you are looking to do. When we're talking about the brain is like an iceberg. I want you to literally think of the iceberg that the Titanic ran into, and the iceberg, okay, this little thing broke a boat in half and it sank to the bottom of the ocean. Okay? Cool. Glad we could get on the same page. That iceberg, a majority of that iceberg was contained underneath the water. So you couldn't see it. Our brains are the exact same way. Only 10% of our brain is the conscious brain. The other 90% is our subconscious mind. So why work from a place where you're working with the 10%? Why not work from a place where you can get the other 90% on board? Because if you could get over 50% of your brain on board, guess what? It's going to be so easy for you to create change on that level and for that area of your life. When you create change from the other 90%, you're going to start to see with the 10%, all of the changes come into your life. When you work with your subconscious mind, that's when things are going to change. And I cannot stress this enough. When you hear money coaches preach about positive affirmations, they actually are not aware of how to do the subconscious work. And they say that they're going to do videos on the subconscious. And if you watch their profiles, they will not, because they have not taken the time to learn about it. I talked about this on an episode that I actually because I'm in a little bit of a batch recording phase right now. I just recorded an episode about how one of my friend's sisters thinks that I'm a cult leader because I talk about the subconscious, NLP, astrology, and business and finance, and how all those worlds they converge on each other. And she called me a cult leader, and she does not believe that the subconscious mind exists. And the thing is that there is actually a very real and very true statistic that humans use 10% of their brain's capacity. And there's also a very real and very scientifically known statistic that dolphins use more capacity of their brain because they have radar and sonar that they use underwater. And so they use more available capacity of their brains than humans do. Explain to me how you're okay with only using 10% of your brain. And you're okay with accepting this fact that you use 10% of your brain and the other 90% is just there. Or let's just take it another step further. Explain to me how you can have a dream and that's your conscious mind creating the dream. Why aren't you dreaming all damn day? Why am I looking at the monotony of my life with my conscious mind, and with my subconscious mind, it's this brilliant, vivid picture? You cannot tell me that the subconscious mind doesn't exist when you dream. You dream. You have dreams. People have dreams. It's real. That's the subconscious mind. Okay? Glad that we could all come to that. If a money coach, I'm going to come back to the point here. If a money coach, if a business coach claims that they're going to tell you about the subconscious mind and then they never actually create a video about the subconscious mind, it's because they don't actually know about the subconscious mind. Great. Yeah, glad we covered that. Okay, on to the next point. The real work that's going to change your financial story and your financial situation is the subconscious work, obviously. Because getting the other 90% of your brain on board, your brain's going to be like, yeah, why wouldn't we want to do this? Right? Let's just think about it in terms of statistics for a second. If you're like over 50%, yeah, duh. Like, what? Okay. What does the subconscious work look like? It looks like rewriting the story that you have about yourself and your finances, and the only place that that's going to be effective enough to create change that you are looking for is within your subconscious mind. How do you do it? Single belief change, flip the script techniques, parts integration, swish patterns. All of these strategies you can be walked through these strategies. I literally do that for my clients. I had 2 clients on a call 2 nights ago, whatever. And we did a combined flip the script technique session for the both of them. And both of them had massive revelations. One of them actually went live on TikTok the very next day. She went from having crickets, nobody asking about her upcoming offer, to after flip the script techniques, because of what she was released and because of what she has been integrating through that technique, she had a vivid dream that night. And she was like, oh, I know what I have to do. I was like, great, this is fantastic. She's like, this is amazing. Thank you so much for putting me through that technique. She went on to her TikTok live, 10 people asking her about her offer. Her offer is $997. That's $9,970. That's insane. Her cart doesn't open until next week. And there are people already asking her about this. Flip the script is so powerful. Obviously. These techniques are game changers. And they're game changers because they get the other 90% on board. Will positive affirmations change some of your money story? Sure, the 5 to 10%. And yes, 5 to 10% is better than 0%. And if you're looking for real change, you want to also consider the other 90 to 95%. Because that's the part of the iceberg that sunk the Titanic. Stop falling for the shitty marketing tactics. I know it's easy to say that. And when you start to hear people who are changing people's lives, are changing people's identities, and are changing people's trajectories for their business, then it might start to change. The goal for this episode was to get you to really see how life-changing the subconscious work can be for you. It can be a game changer, and it will be a game changer, because when you get the better part of your brain on board, guess what's going to happen? The dominoes are going to fall into place naturally. I want to thank you for tuning into this episode. I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for sharing your takeaways and leaving reviews. And I will talk to you in the next episode.